Get your coffee, get your tea. Come on, sit down with me. So, for today's drink, I have a cinnamon espresso with sweet cream, and it tastes like the feeling of an Oreo cookie. I like it. It's really interesting. And being that I don't like chocolate, this is the perfect balance for me. It don't taste chocolatey. I must say that. But it tastes like I'm eating an Oreo without eating an Oreo. That makes sense. But for today's conversation, quick conversation, hopefully, we are going to be talking about Invictus by William Ernest Henley. The reason why we're talking about Invictus today because I actually have a piece of that poem tattooed on me. And I heard that poem back when I was in elementary school, and I remember that day like it was yesterday. I remember I was getting ready for school, and when Bill Cosby come on, before it ended, before the rolling credits came, I had to be out the door in order to catch the bus. And I remember he was in his office, and I didn't turn my TV off this day. He was in his office, and I was turning off the light, and the cleaning lady was in there. And she said, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. When I say it stopped me in my tracks from walking out of my room, I went right back in front of the TV, and I wanted to hear the conversation between them and how she explained it and what they was talking about. And he asked her, like, who made that poem? She was like, it's Invictus by William Henley. And I remember that. I said I wanted to remember it for the rest of my life. Did I understand then what it meant? No. Do I understand now? 100% yes. But that moment altered my little mind and my life in such a way that it became a pillar in the way that I think and the way that I move. Um, Allow me to read the poem. If you never heard it, I'm going to read it for you. Invictus. Invictus is also Latin for unconquered. But this is the poem. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody and unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears loom but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. He wrote that poem when he was in the hospital and how he didn't allow it to kill his spirit. And when I would walk around my tattoo loud and proud, and older people would say, who wrote that poem? Where you got that from? Like, what that mean? And I would tell them with so much confidence, it's Invictus by William Henley. And it says, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. And no, I didn't get the tattoo as a child. I got it like my late teens, early 20s. And I'd be like, I determine where my soul goes in this life by understanding my fate fully, by understanding where I want to go. I determine whether I go to heaven or hell based upon the captain that I am. They used to look at me when I used to explain it because that's what it meant to me. And this poem, as I look at it and look at it and look at it, what I get from the whole entire thing is no matter what life throws me, no matter what darkness tries to consume me, I will not bow out of where I want my soul to be because the circumstances is so hard, because the circumstances is trying to conquer. the very thing that it cannot have. In order to conquer me, I have to surrender to it. And at that point, you give up your fate. You take away being the captain of your own soul, and you allow whatever it is to steer you wherever it wants you to go. That is what I get from it. And when I say this poem means so much to me, as a kid, when I used to look out the window, I used to think of it over and over again, like, where do I want to be? Where do I want to end up? What do I see fit? And I used to dream and envision and just look out the window, and I knew I wanted greenery around me. I knew I wanted to be outside, not like having fun like that, but I wanted to experience the fullness of life as I be the captain of it all without allowing someone else to steer. And it made me think about this. When you're born, before you're born, you are consumed with darkness in your mother's womb. And when you're born, you get to see the light of the world. And in life, you have to be reborn. But you have to go through the darkness in order to come out to see the light. And not many people make it to the other side, even though they are still alive. They allow the darkness to consume and conquer their soul. They bow down to the darkness because they can't see their way out, not realizing it's a temporary thing. But in order to do that, you have to understand you are the captain of your soul. No matter what punishment you may get, no matter what somebody may tell you is in this text and that text, and you can't do this and you can't do that, you have to understand, if I am punished for my freedom, I will allow the punishment to be so I can be free, because the punishment doesn't last forever. And you can't punish me for something that is inside of me that I refuse to give to you. And the moment I give it to you, you will punish me, because you don't understand how I'm not afraid, how you can't conquer me. And the moment I surrender that, I am afraid. The moment I surrender those things, I have been conquered. The moment I surrender that, I have to bow to whoever you are or to whatever it is. And when he say, whatever God gave me this unconquerable soul, means whatever God allowed me to be so strong-willed, to be a strong person, to understand my faith, to be able to not even captivate, but to be able to steer my soul to the direction of peace and serenity and the fullness of life, without being afraid in the darkness and the consequences people tell me that will come if I keep going. Oh my gosh, y'all ain't hearing me. And I was thinking about this as a child, and I would just devour myself in this poem, because I went through some dark, dark, dark things. And I not once bowed, even when the world told me I needed to, and I should, to make the suffering stop. And I would tell them, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. If I surrender to you, you become my God. If I allow you to conquer me, you take away the very compass that is steering me. Huh? That's why some people feel lost, because they gave whatever it is their compass, and they understand why their flesh can no longer steer to the direction they so desperately feel. They're trying to find it with their flesh because they can no longer seek it with their soul. I hope y'all hearing me. But this poem really allows me to sit with it and peel the layers of it and understand that someone felt something so deeply at the end of it all, to be able to understand the journey that they went through and was going through at that time, and still found the beauty of it to say, I still do not surrender to your will at all, because it's the will of the darkness and not the will of my unconquerable soul. Let me say this. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried out loud. Some people will cry to the world and to their circumstance to beg them to stop, which give them fuel to keep going. Because at that moment, they think to themselves, tears can be seen as tears of joy and tears of pain, but when somebody don't pay attention, they are tears of everything. How many times have you cried to your circumstances and it has gotten worse? Until you build up the strength and the courage to move forward by allowing your soul to steer you, by praying to God to give you the directions out of it, or bless you to get through it. But don't allow the enemy to take from it. And under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody and unbowed. That means no matter what life throw at me, how you try to beat me down, I'm not going to. Perfect example, Jesus. They beat him, and they lashed him to get him to bow and surrender to their will. And he did not give them the satisfaction of it all the way to the end. Even then, he still ain't give them the satisfaction to be able to conquer his soul. To take a man's soul is to take a man's vision. To take a man's life direction is to take a man's faith. It's to take everything from him. And some people believe if I take your soul, you will never be able to steer to the heaven that is granted and written for you. I'm going to say this. If somebody take your soul, how would you know the direction to heaven when you surrender to them in hell? I want y'all to think about it. Because what God say, I forgot how the quote go, but God gave you your soul. And if your soul go back to him and you gave it away, where is it going to go? You robbed Peter to pay Paul. And then realize you can't even borrow your soul or get your soul back from Paul. And now Peter looking at you like, I don't know you. Because you gave away the very thing that I gave you to borrow. And you sold it. Something that's more precious than gold. You don't even have the essence of him within you anymore for him to even recognize you. Huh? But you got to really think about it. Somebody give you a hair loan and they say, this is going to be your ticket into the family forever and always. You say, fall on hard times, you like, I'm going to have to sell it. Sell it. And somebody go buy it and you try to get it back. You like, dang, who bought it? How can I track it down? You track the person down. They be like, I ain't giving it back to you. You should have known what you had before you sold it. You should have known how valuable it was. And what if your blessings and everything is tied to your soul, and now they got it. Let's bring it back to this. Beyond the place of wrath and tears, loom but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. No matter what I go through, I'm still not going to be afraid of your. I'm still not going to be able to waver. Even when I see it trying to loom and gloom over me and consume me and take away the light that shines on me, you still can't capture me. Ain't that something? This poem is really good. I really love this poem. I really love what it stands for. And the meaning can be so expansive, but it's based upon your experience in order to expand on it and to understand it and to consume it in such a way you can digest it and be able to share it so other people can be like, take away the best parts of that poem or take away all of it to understand their journey in life. Because what I did, I took a part of it and I kept it and put it on my skin in order to remind myself no matter how hard life gets, no matter what is going on, I steer my soul based upon my belief and my understanding of where it's directing me to. I don't want to lose that. That's the thing. When life gets hard, we lose the best pieces of us. And then we try to get them back by understanding where we are now. But in order to understand where you are now, you have to heal everything that took away, that was taken away from you in the journey and the process of you seeing yourself. As you look back, you seeing yourself being picked apart like a vulture. It's just over you, just taking the thinking that you have passed away and you're laying there rotten and dead, and it's just picking you apart and you're still alive and you're like, how can I not allow it to fully consume me, but yet walk away with what you feel like the best parts or the parts you needed the most in order to steer you. That is the thing. A vulture only eat things that is rotten. So you have to ask yourself, how long did you stay there in order for that person, place, or thing take away and take away and take away at your life force until it felt like you was rotten in order to pick you apart? That is the thing. In order to pick you apart, a vulture to pick you apart, your flesh have to be so soft and so rotten and so consumable for it to be able to enjoy what it is eating. A vulture will wait and stalk over its prey and be like, yep, in a couple of days, I'll be able to eat this. But for people, in a couple of weeks, in a couple of months, in a couple of years, this is mine. So that makes me ask you, how long did you stay before the vulture tried to eat you or ate pieces of you before you decided to get up and walk away? It was essentially it was, to be honest, it killed a piece of your soul. Or maybe it killed a piece of your flesh. The part of your flesh that would allow you to endure anything and everything for an emotion that was taken away from your logic because you loved them, because you cared about them. It's because you wanted to people please, give them the benefit of the doubt, and they was being a vulture over the situation because they only eat away at the emotion that you gave them, the feeling that you gave them. So when you get everything back, understand you are getting it back with strength. And an iron clasp of this will never happen again. Y'all, Another part that get me. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. That's basically saying that I understand I will be judged, but you cannot judge me. And that part make me think about when you walk through the gates or wherever your soul leads you or wherever your flesh wants you to be. Whatever the judgment is the punishment that everything inside that gate will seek. If it's peace, you will be judged for the peace that it's basically like this. When you walk through that gate and you allow yourself to go through chaos, the first thing they will judge you based upon the chaos that you brought and you are bringing and they want you to be a part of. You will be judged harshly. But if you steer yourself to peace, your soul will be at rest in every endeavor that you bring inside that gate. Every endeavor that you walk through and you had the hardship, it will be replaced with peace. And it's like, let me read it again. It matters not how straight the gate, how charged with punishment the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. If you allow somebody to judge you, and the world will judge you, no matter what you say, what you do, determines if you navigate it through your soul or through your flesh. Because your soul will steer you to peace time and time again. Like Psalms 23, rest at the still waters, he restoreth my soul. If you went through a hard time, God gonna restore your soul for going through that hard journey of being unconquerable, unafraid, and unbowed to everything outside of him. But if you allow yourself to lose your soul and to be conquered and to bow and to be afraid of everything in the darkness, essentially you will be judged with chaos. You will be punished with chaos. Ain't that some stuff? The question isn't why. The question is what steered you? What led you? What was the captain of you? Are you the captain of you? Or is someone else? My video keep cutting in and out and I keep having to press record, y'all. But this poem, I love it. This is one of my favorite poems in the whole wide world. And I write poems. And I love what I write, but this one does something to me that I just cannot explain. And maybe I can relate to the darkness and to the times where things really, really try to take from me. But all in all, I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. William Henley did his thing, and he left an important piece in the world and the poetry world with Invictus to be unconquerable. Because the world tried to conquer every and anything that it can. I thought I was done, but I am not done. And when he said, under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody and unbowed. No matter how bad life tries to beat you down, do not bow to anything that is trying to take away the best parts of you. Do not bow for them to stop. If you fall, it is okay. But do not get on your knee and bow to them like they are your God. Don't do it. No matter how hard it feels, no matter how much they want you to surrender. Your soul is the best part of you because it's the only thing that the world did not give you. Because the world gave you your body, but God gave you your soul. I had to add that. I just had to add that into it. So, yeah. And your soul will always allow you to win because that is fated for you. Don't forget that. And the moment you forget that, you won't bow to anything and everything because you understand if I keep going the direction that my soul is steering me in, I will win. I just want y'all to win. I just want y'all to recognize the world for what it is doing to you in certain aspects and what you are allowing by staying and knowing when to walk away. Don't allow it to conquer your soul. Don't allow living to make you afraid. And don't allow your enemies to devour you and try to take things from you to where you bow to them. Don't do it. But if I tell you people pleasing is bowing to them, serving them, praising them, and leaving yourself in the shadows as you sacrifice the very thing that's telling you you deserve more, you deserve better. Even if that's the outside world trying to encourage you to stand up, know when to stand up because someone or something is seeing you bow to everything that is taking away the very important pieces of you. Even though you may not feel the vulture eating away at you until you walk away and realize the missing pieces of you. I want you to think about that. And also, it makes me think of this. Looms but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years find and shall find me unafraid. Every time the darkness come up, every season where it try to show its rigid head, it wants you to be afraid that it will consume you. And that is that one moment that it will take over you. But in order to find you unafraid, is to understand that it knows that you will get through it, that you will treat it like a season and not a lifetime. And that is the thing that the darkness hates. Someone that is not afraid to go and turn on the light. Because the moment you go and turn on the light, it knows that it's season. It knows that its moment is over. An unafraid person is not a conquerable person. It's a person that say, I can stand in front of you and I can walk through you time and time again. And you still can't get nothing from me. Not an emotion, not a cry, not a surrender, and not a sacrifice. Because some people will sacrifice and people please in the darkness just to be able to say, I can make it out of this. I will make it out of this. But how much do you sacrifice and how much does it eat away from you before you stand there bare bones in the light? Hollow, can't even recognize yourself because of so much that you gave in the darkness that the sun can't even shine on you properly without you recognizing not only do I have a shadow, but it consumes me in such a way that I don't think that I can live and go through it if I have to look at everything that I left behind me. And some people will run back into the darkness so quickly to try to find everything that they lost, not realizing that it was gone and is gone. The darkness digests everything that you leave and it turn it into something else, something that you will have to face time and time again. Imagine taking away the best parts of you and you go into the darkness and you see those parts in a different shade. You try to wonder, how can you still give it light? How can you shine a light on something that's dead? Because you believe you will never be able to get it back again. Because you kept going and you kept going and you stood in the light and it wasn't there. But the only place you can find it is in the darkness. When will you rebuild it better than what you left it? And understand that was once a part of my foundation, but it no longer is. I cannot incorporate that part that was digested in the darkness into who I have become without tainting everything that loves and that I built in the light. And I'm not saying don't incorporate your dark side, don't do this, don't do that. No, 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 no. What I'm saying is understanding the value of healing and understand the value of letting go. That is what I'm saying. I keep stopping this recording and going. I keep stopping and going, but it's just like as I really sit with it, maybe somebody needs to hear it, and maybe that somebody is me. Because I have told myself these things time and time again as I read this poem. This poem is like a love letter to my soul in order to allow me and to understand that not only that I am seen, but the journey has such a great ending and so much peace without you having to die in order to get it. That's what it is. It's like everyone thinks they need to die to get the peace, but not live within it while they are alive. And that's why some people allow the darkness to consume them, because they feel like I can get the peace when I'm dead, even though I don't get to experience it when I'm alive. But if you don't understand the value of peace while you are alive, why shall you be granted it when you die? Because energy is just a continuation of things that you believe while you was alive and that you experienced while you was alive. That's why people say when you die in your sins, you go to hell. But if you die with your peace, you go to heaven. I want y'all to think about that. I'm spitting gems. I hope y'all collecting them, planting seeds and stuff, and maybe enjoying the temporariness of it. Because some people will take it, hold it to their chest, put it in their sanctuary like a bouquet, be like, y'all look at this, yeah, and let it go away. But enjoy it while you got it. I'm just saying. And when that poem came to an end and a close, I am the captain of my soul. How will you live in your peace? How will you live in your peace? Why? How will you enjoy your peace? Or how will you surrender to your chaos and make it a home away from home? And when I say a home away from home, peace is your home. Your body is your home. Your fate, your purpose, your end goals is your home. And it makes me think about Psalms 23. Hold up. It makes me think about Psalms 23:6. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. If you allow God to steer you, your soul to steer you, He will take you home. And I'm not talking about dying and going to heaven and hell. I'm talking about life. Getting to everything that you want and you desire that is good for you. That is your home. Understand this hard journey in the darkness that was trying to consume you was keeping you away from home. But you have to find comfort in knowing that you will make it home. Huh? I hope y'all hear me. But that is a perspective to shift your reality and something to really be thought about. So think about it. I hope y'all like this video. I hope y'all enjoyed y'all coffee and y'all tea while y'all was sitting down with me. And also be sure to check out my other videos on my podcast and my Substack. I've been writing. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I really enjoyed y'all sitting with me. I hope y'all like this video because I love it. We're not going to do that. I almost forgot. That's a perspective to shift your reality and something to really be thought about. So think about it. Yeah. Hopefully, I will see you on the next one.